Welcome to Swim. Um, some more thoughts around the new Peter Gabriel album. It seems that he didn't hurt anything new in all these years. Don't get me wrong, Peter is a great musician. I'm a big fan. I love Peter since my childhood. His legacy at Genesis or with Genesis is indisputable. Four great solo albums. Security is a masterpiece. Um, the third album, so his biggest commercial success and a very fine and refined album. Always searching, always exploring, but this time with an album that looks like its original title is Panopticon and not I.O. There is no progress, no adventure, and no curiosity. It doesn't it doesn't seem like he's heard any current music, and there are so many interesting things in music. Technically speaking, in terms of sound, rhythms, and it seems that Peter didn't listen to anything all these years. For example, from the album Us, another great album, the song "Digging in the Dirt," it sounds like Arrested Development, and I'm telling you this with the best intention. It's very good and to listen to all kinds of music, and "Digging in the Dirt," it's very Arrested Development. Um, Not only in the rhythm, but in the recording technique and many other things, technicalities. But in the Up album, it sounds like Peter listening to Massive Attack continuously, and it's also very good. Very good news that he tries to listen what. In those days, he was trying to listen what was going on with great musicians and great bands. It's okay to be influenced by good things, but with this new album that doesn't even seem to have finished, and that's why he gives it us in pieces, he stayed in the comfort zone, which was something unthinkable for Peter Gabriel. It is not about criticizing for the sake of criticizing. It's about analyzing our position as fans and our sincerity. The truth is that the criticism of those who have wanted to be objective has been courteous, sometimes timid, circling the point about what's going on with this new album. Is it complete? Is Peter still working on it? But because of our love and admiration to Peter, it's indisputable. Some reviews uh, are courteous, trying to be nice, but not being sincere. The truth is that this is the reality. Peter is so rare that it seems unbelievable. This kind of project, the way he has developed it, it seems very little as the Peter that we used to know. It feels not only disappointing but also, I don't know. In short, too much thought, overanalyzed, not very inspirational, not very inspired. But we have to understand that he is a father of a family. He's a family man, and he's thinking about the future of his family, his loved ones. He loves to be at home, and not every artist continues to explore. This is when we start to think about the artist that is still trying to find himself. For example, David Bowie, in his last days, he was very, very troubled about this terrible sickness, and it gave birth to one of his greatest albums, Black Star. The same happens with John Cale. John Cale hasn't received the recognition that he deserves, so he's still searching, he's still pouring his soul out, and he gives us this wonderful album, Mercy, his new album. But in the case of artists like Peter Gabriel, it seems like the family man has won and the artist is death. Up was a really good album, but it wasn't a great album. Peter promised that the next album will be in another terrain, working with beats, and we are listening to the same thing, with the same thing, the same structure, the same style. Not very exciting, but we love Peter. He's one of the greatest. Sometimes it happens with great artists that it's very comfort with his life, and well deserved. And he's already a classic. He will always be a master. And the same thing happens with Steven Spielberg now in cinema with his new film, The Fabelmans. Everybody is very nice about this personal movie, his movie. He wanted to tell the story that way, not personal, but not too personal. It was a very strange film because Steven is such a master, such a great director. He's a legend. He doesn't need any more awards, and he gave us not a very good film, but no one wants to tell the truth. And as we say, we don't want to criticize just for criticize. We have lots of respect for someone like Steven Spielberg, and the same goes with Peter Gabriel. But like one friend told me, it feels annoying. It bothers the marketing of this album, the project, each song, each full moon. What's the point? Why we can't absorb and be immersed in the whole album experience? Maybe because there is not an album complete. There is not a complete album yet, and that's very Peter. Daniel Lanois remembers how he needed to fight Peter in order to complete the lyrics, in order to complete a track, because Peter tends to go slower and slower. He's not a very prolific artist, as we said in the other video. He's not like Bob Dylan, or he's not like Billy Joel. Or he tends to find very hard to write. But in the past albums, we noticed his excitement on exploring sounds, different. For example, when he worked with the Fairlight, it was great. It was a breakthrough, and now he's doing his stuff. And now I don't know if you want to pay for a ticket to listen to these tracks. They are very expensive. I don't know. Let's I don't know if we are going to talk about the next tracks because it's kind of tiresome to be waiting for another track to another track and waiting if this track is the new Peter Gabriel song. But that's the way it goes. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Welcome to Swim.